What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're going to be doing Disney animated films, and the last one we did Pixar animated, so there will be no Toy Story or anything in this. I've already went ahead and put a load into haven't seen, Brother Bear, Home on the Range, things like that. I haven't seen them, so it wouldn't be fair for me to rate them. I've seen everything else. I'm not going to remember every character's names. There's films here I haven't seen in years and years and years since I was a kid, which was a long time ago. But we're going to just try our very best. And there's also a few of these that I'll be rating with rose-tinted glasses, simply because I seen them for the first time with my daughter. So obviously that changes the perspective on a film. But we're just going to get on into it. There will be a couple in the S tier for sure, I can already see. There's some absolutely brilliant films here, so here we go. First up is Cinderella. I don't know if it was Cinderella was the original princess or it was Aurora, I can't remember, but the whole story about the missing shoe and all, I don't know if it's just the fact it's been done to death now, because we've obviously seen multiple live action adaptations, we've seen multiple reboots, remakes, everything. It sort of ruined the allure of just what Cinderella was. It's just a basic fairy tale about a sister trying to escape her evil stepmother and her evil stepsisters. But it's dull. It is dull, but B, because my daughter loves it. Alice in Wonderland. I think Alice in Wonderland's an A. I love the story of Alice in Wonderland. Even the live action films with Johnny Depp, I think they're fantastic films, both of them, including For the Looking Glass. I think they're fantastic. I love Johnny Depp, so it's probably rose-tinted glasses again, but the original cartoon is brilliant. I love the Mad Hatter. There's a good couple of bunnies in it, which my daughter loves. The evil Queen of Hearts, she's brilliant. So we'll land on an A. Peter Pan. Peter Pan's an S film. Like, there's nothing bad about Peter Pan. It's like the whole story with Captain Hook. Captain Hook's a fantastic villain. The whole, like, whose dream, like, everybody when they were younger just wanted to fly, let's be honest. You've obviously got, like, your live action adaptations like The Hook with Robin Williams, amazing film. It's more of a sequel to the original story, but it's an amazing film. So yeah, it belongs in S. Tinkerbell is probably one of the most iconic Disney characters out there. Like, even more so than the likes of some of the Mickey Mouse and all. Tinkerbell's instantly recognisable. And my partner absolutely loves Tinkerbell. Lady and the Tramp. Out of all the films here that has talking animals, well, not talking animals, but has animals as the protagonists, this will probably be one that I'm going to put it in C. I can't, it wasn't feeling right at B for me. Yes, it's got that one scene with the spaghetti, who cares? it's just a garbage film, it really is. Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty would probably be an A. Obviously, I think, but that is simply down to Maleficent. Maleficent makes this film an A. There's a reason why she's probably the most recognisable Disney villain out of all their animated films. It's because she's unbelievable in this film. She spawned 2 live action films based on herself, spin-off films based on a villain that have done well. So yeah, Sleeping Beauty will be an A. It's not S tier, it's just not. 101 Dalmatians, the original. I loved this as a kid and I loved live action. I'm going to put this in A as well. When I was a kid I watched the absolute crap out of this film, so I thought it was fantastic. I'm going to quickly find 102 Dalmatians. Is it even here? 102 Dalmatians isn't on the list. Fair enough. It would have been in C. Just as I said before in other tier list videos, when it comes to sequels, it's just the same old, only not as good. It's lost, like, the nostalgia factor. It's lost the shock factor. The Sword and the Stone. Once again, like, what kid didn't picture filming The Sword and the Stone when they were younger? I'm going to put it at C, and I'm going to explain why. There's a film coming up that pretty much no one saw from the looks of it, but I seen hundreds and hundreds of times. I had the VHS and everything, went to the cinema to see it, and it's very, very, very similar to The Sword and the Stone, and I personally think it is a better film by far, and that is The Black Cauldron. So we're going to skip a few here. The Black Cauldron is everything that The Sword in the Stone wishes it was. The stories they're different, but very much similar in tone, about a young boy trying to fight the forces of evil, stuff like that. And just Black Cauldron does it better, just no one's seen it. that is the sad part, no one's seen it. But it belongs in S tier for me. Remember, it's my opinion. That's probably the one where people would comment, yeah, that's ridiculous to put that there. So fair enough, but it's up there for me. The Jungle Book. Jungle Book's iconic. Like the songs alone are brilliant. There's a few characters I don't like in it, but likes of Blue and all. I can't even say it. Mowgli. I can never say that name. But yeah, it's a brilliant film. That's really all I can say about that. The Aristocats, it's a favourite in our household because it's just got lots of cats. I'm going to put it at B. Story's a bit weak. It sort of tries to play on things it would seen before with other Disney films, but just didn't do it as well as some of the other films. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like, you gotta go for S. It's the original. I think that's the first Disney film. I could be wrong in saying that. Walt Disney, that was his vision. Seven Dwarfs, back when dwarfs were allowed to be dwarfs. You know, remember that time. Iconic songs, Hi Ho, Off the Order We Go. Just Snow White, it's just probably one of the most recognisable Disney princesses as well. Like nowadays, like you see Disney princesses at a Disney park and they're wearing like a blue dress and you just think, oh, which one's that? Snow White, obviously the yellow and blue is undeniable. So fair enough. Robin Hood, didn't like. I did not like it at all, and it's strange because it is the type of Disney animated film I would have liked, but I just didn't think it was done well. It's probably going to be controversial as well. It just wasn't for me. Like, some of these films are brilliant films, they just weren't for me. It's my tier list, it's my opinion, so get wrecked. Winnie the Pooh, I don't like Winnie the Pooh. Grab the wrong one. I don't like Winnie the Pooh. I just don't. I don't know what more I can say about that. It's like, obviously I understand the appeal of the characters. Eeyore is a great character. The fact that Disney went and made a character who's just constantly depressed is probably the most realistic thing they've ever done. To be fair. But the demeanour of Winnie the Pooh and then Tigger's over exuberance all the time, it's just like, these are complete opposites and these are both equally annoying. It's unbelievable. So we're going to go for D. The Rescuers, underrated. B. In an ideal world, the Rescuers would be like sort of the icons of Disney, the way the likes of Winnie the Pooh is, because in terms of film quality, the Rescuers always delivered. Anything they were in were absolutely fantastic. I just loved it. I really did. The Great Mouse Detective, hated it. The Great Mouse Detective, I don't know what came. I know I seen the Rescuers first. I don't know which one came first out of the Rescuers and the Great Mouse Detective. But the Great Mouse Detective just basically tried to play on everything the Rescuers was, which obviously, as I said, if it came out first, I apologise. But when you've got a film about small animals, like solving crimes and all, and being adventurous, the Rescuers 10 times better. It's not even close. Oliver and Company, S. I think this was one of the first Disney cartoons I seen, and I just love the story. I love the music. The little cat in it is adorable. The reason I was saying earlier about Lady and the Tramp, about a film about animals, it's like can or cannot do well. Oliver and Company is everything that Lady and the Tramp wishes it was. Like, I just love Oliver and Company. It's got cats and dogs. You see that? See, if you concentrate on just dogs, that's your problem. Little Mermaid. The songs alone, you gotta sort of put it at an A at least, in my opinion. Like, obviously part of that world and all, Under the Sea, Sebastian and Flounder, fantastic character, Scuttle. I nearly went into S for a second there, but we'll keep it at A for the music. Down Under, I actually haven't seen, so I must have missed that one out. Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. I think it's great. I think all the music in it is fantastic. The story's fantastic. I think the whole story arc for Gaston, I think, no, the Gaston stuff puts it down for me, because Gaston is a tool, do not get me wrong, Gaston is a complete tool. But he was also trying to save Belle. Like, Beast does look like a beast, he looks like a monster, and Gaston rallied people to try to save Belle. So, yes, he did it in the wrong way, do not get me wrong. He did it in the wrong way, but he tried to save her, so give the guy a break. Pinocchio is going in S tier for me. The original cartoon Pinocchio, I rewatched hundreds of times, and then the very first live action Pinocchio came out, it wasn't that long after, I rewatched hundreds of times. Yes, obviously some of the dialogue now, when you're looking back on it, like when the wolf is talking about sending the kids to the island and all, I won't say the exact line. It sounds so suspicious in this day and age, but see, as a kid, you're just watching it, enjoying it. Like, you don't even think about stuff like that, really. So it's an S for me. I loved it. Aladdin, I might be in the minority here, but I prefer the live action Aladdin to the cartoon Aladdin. That is not a knock on Robin Williams. Robin Williams is a better genie, for sure. Robin Williams is definitely a better genie, but Will Smith did do a very good job, and nobody can deny that. That is for sure. Like, it could have been a disaster. Like, I think it made $1 billion in the end. Like, no one ever would have guessed that for someone who was replacing Robin Williams. So, music's great, Jasmine's great. That's really it. Lion King. I was going to say none of the sequels are on this because there's no Lion King 2 either. Thankfully, because you would see some really harsh scores then. Lion King has to be an S. Anything the light touches is our kingdom. Like Circle of Life, like Hakuna Matata. What more do you have to say? A lot of these films that and their rankings are influenced by music for me. Like, music in films makes a film. I think to see something that films nowadays lack is a good soundtrack. You obviously hear such exceptions like Guardians of the Galaxy and all that, Suicide Squad, things like that. They have great soundtracks and it adds to the movie. Most films are just trash in terms of music, but Lion King's unbelievable. The story with Simba and all is brilliant. If a sequel was in here, it'd be down an F. It'd be a full jump. Pocahontas, it's a C. It's just because, like, I only seen this as I was older, and obviously you learn the actual history of the Native Americans and all, and it's just like, it's how misrepresented the whole film is, so it takes away from it, but it's alright, it's there. Pocahontas is probably one of the weakest Disney princesses, but it is what it is. Hunchback of Notre Dame, that's an S for me. I watched this film so many times. The story of Quasimodo was brilliant. I didn't even like the gargoyles that much in this film. I didn't even like them that much, but the actual film is fantastic. I didn't even like Esmeralda. I think I only like Quasimodo in this film, and he carries it the whole way. I don't think there's another character I like. I don't think there is. I've seen them announced that they're doing a live action of this as well with Josh Gad's Quasimodo. Perfect casting. It's about time he got cast as the lead in something, because he deserves it, especially for all his work as Olaf and all. Hercules, another S for me. Hercules, looking over this and the films down here, Hercules is my favourite Disney animated film. It's probably Neville with Toy Story. Yeah, it'd be Neville with Toy Story, for sure. But that's Pixar. But in terms of Disney animation, it's Hercules. Go the Distance, the song in that is my favourite Disney song as well. Hands down, it's not even close. I've got so many versions of it downloaded on my phone, different covers, different versions. It's unreal. The story of Hercules, just trying to be who he's always wanted to be, is just, it resonates with so many people. And obviously Danny DeVito was Phil, you can't go wrong. I think he's an absolute comic genius. But I didn't like his girlfriend down there. Mulan, I'm gonna... The live action one sort of burned the thought of Mulan for me a bit, but Mulan's an S for me as well. I love Mulan. Mulan is my favourite Disney princess. Yeah, I'll say that. Maybe level between her and one other, but the other one is very biased because my daughter loves her. But yeah, Mulan is definitely my favourite Disney princess. The action, Eddie Murphy as what's his name, as the dragon, obviously. Like the action scenes, like it's just beautiful as well. All the fireworks and all the battles. And it tackles some really mature content, if you know what I mean. So, like, fair enough, it deserves its place up there, and I think it's really underrated by other people, but that's people's opinions. Tarzan, I hate Tarzan. My problem is I seen Tarzan after I seen the live action George of the Jungle movie with Brendan Fraser, and I just couldn't help but compare them because obviously they're guys in a jungle. Just Tarzan's trash. I hate Tarzan. Even when they started trying to say that like the conspiracy at Tarzan was related to Elsa and Anna from Frozen, it's like, no, don't muddy that water. I don't want to see Tarzan show up in a future Frozen film. Fantasia, Fantasia's just good fun. Like obviously it's not even a full-on proper film, but like the whole soundtrack and all the brushes and all. You can't go wrong. They've made so many like Disney theme park parades out of it. They get so many nighttime shows. It beats fair. Dinosaur, I hate Dinosaur. Probably a recurring theme because obviously in the Pixar video I think The Good Dinosaur was the lowest rated film out of everyone, or could have just been a tier above, but I just don't like it. It's just not good. The ride in Disney World is good, but it's just stupid fun really. But yeah, I'm not too keen on the film. It could have been so much better than what it was. And there were so many films at the time that were like doing dinosaur related stuff, and it was probably one of the weakest. So we'll go D. It's better than Tarzan, because everything's better than Tarzan. Emperor's New Groove is going in A. I love the Emperor's New Groove. It's been so long since I've seen it. I probably haven't seen it in about 20 years. It's a long time, but I know how much I used to rewatch it constantly. I just love it. I think the humour in it is fantastic. It's probably is it David Spade voicing one of them, Patrick Warburton? Like, that's just amazing. I could be wrong. David Spade or Patrick Warburton definitely does play Kronk. But just their humour and all was perfect. It's like I just love it. There's nothing more I can say. I just love the humour in it. It's probably the humour that carries the entire story. Fantasia, just I'll put it beside B. Nothing else to add. Atlantis, I think C. Probably is rough. I think I've only ever seen it once and I did enjoy it, but the very fact that it only got me once and it wasn't one of the ones that even my daughter Evie wanted to watch, it tells you everything. It's just an average film. See Pete Disney did so many amazing films. See now they can't even do a decent film. Their writing is terrible. Lilo and Stitch is an A. I think Stitch is probably becoming, or has already become, the most iconic Disney character around, because who doesn't know who Stitch is? Everywhere you look, every shop you go into, it's Stitch, 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 Stitch. It's not Mickey and Minnie anymore. It's not Toy Story anymore. It's Stitch. Stitch is everywhere. The film is very funny. Like, Ohana means family. Like, it's probably one of my favourite impressions to do as well. So yeah, he belongs in A. He's not an S film for me. I think younger people enjoy him a lot more. Treasure Planet is so much better than Atlantis. Treasure Planet's going in A. Yeah, I can't say so much better, and there'll only be one tier between them. Treasure Planet is so underrated, it's unreal. Treasure Planet is something I think they just did as a throwaway in the middle of like 2 peak seasons, because they had to release something. Like Disney were at a point where they were releasing at least one big Disney animated film a year in the cinema. I think just at one point they got, it's like we have nothing like to jump out at people, so they did Treasure Planet, and I think it's an amazingly written film. Like the voice cast is brilliant, the story's brilliant, and I think it belongs in A. Much better than Atlantis, I'll say it again. I might actually move Atlantis down today. Chicken Little, I hate everything about Chicken Little. As I said before, I don't know if Chicken Little or Stuart Little, both Little in the name. I don't know which one came first. I know I saw Stuart Little first, and then I saw Chicken Little. I just thought, this is garbage. I care so much more about this little animated mouse than this little animated chicken. I don't want to swear in this. I nearly did there. But no, Chicken Little's garbage. Yeah, Meet the Robinsons is also an F. I hate it. I just hate everything about it. I think I only seen half the film. I hated it that much. It's very rare for me not to finish a film. I've only ever walked out of a cinema twice in my whole life. That was for the first King Kong movie, because it was for 2.5 hours and they weren't even off the island yet. It's like, not a chance. And the remake of Freddy Krueger, and it was completely garbage. I walked out less than halfway through. Meet the Robinsons is like one of the only films I've been watching in the house and just turned it off, so I couldn't finish it. Didn't care how it ended. Simple as that. Bolt is underrated, but it can't be more than a C. When you compare it to everything else, it cannot be more than a C. And by the way, I'm not organising all these in the from 1 to whatever number, because there's too many films here. Bolt has a great cast. The hamster in the ball, he just irks me. He's just annoying. He's not funny. There's nothing funny about that hamster. And the whole dog not realising he's not a superhero, the whole film, it gets boring after a while, let's just say. Princess and the Frog. I see the princess film, I think it's the weakest. I think it's probably one of the weakest princess films that they've done. It's not as weak as I think all the characters are dry as well. I don't like any of the characters. Even the villain, I don't like him either. I think Tiana's boring. Obviously, like, the whole story, but like she just wants to make it. Like, we can all relate, but like, it was dull. They were doing the same old tropes about like animal sidekick, blah blah blah. I just didn't like it. But See is Fair, still better than all this trash. Tangled. This is the one I said there was going to be a joint favourite Disney princess with Mulan. It is Rapunzel from Tangled. The actual film of Tangled is an amazing film. Well, I think it came out in 2010, but I only seen it for the first time with my daughter, and she was obsessed with it. Like, we were watching Tangled 3, 4, 5 times a day. But it was all right because Flynn Rider and I don't know you call the horse. But the entire cast, like every character, was brilliant. It was so funny. Mother Gothel as a villain was probably the craziest villain we've ever had, and everybody was fantastic. The music as well, it was just unreal. Like, and honestly, I could rewatch it now. I still love the film. Dumbo. Even though Dumbo was one of the earliest films, I only actually seen it for the first time recently. Like a couple of years ago, we're talking. And like, obviously the whole thing with animal cruelty and all that, and like, watching it as an adult really does change your perspective. I'm going to put Dumbo at C. I can't put any higher than that. It's an iconic film, yes. Did I enjoy it that much? No, for obvious reasons. There's another Winnie the Pooh. We'll put you in D with your friend here. Wreck-It Ralph. Oh yeah, I was going to say, it's lucky the Wreck-It Ralph sequel's here. Wreck-It Ralph is an S tier film for me, and while we're here, Ralph Breaks the Internet is an S tier film for me. I think out of like the new Disney animated stuff that they were doing, like, I wasn't liking much of it. The Pixar ones, yes, but a lot of this I wasn't. Wreck-It Ralph was the first film that I liked for, like, personally myself first. Like, it wasn't because my daughter loved it and rewatched it over and over again. It wasn't to do with any outside factors. I just love Wreck-It Ralph. I think the voice cast, John C. Reilly and it's gone. If you ever watched this, voice of Penelope, I apologise. You did fantastic. Like, both films are amazing. When they did the sequel, like, the sequel isn't rated as highly by most people. I think it's just as good. Adding the whole thing about like the internet universe, we've got like just going into the Disney website and seeing the Marvel, Star Wars, Disney princess characters all in one setting. It's just nostalgia wise, like, it just jumps at you. But I absolutely love both films. I love them equally. I think S tier for me. Remember, it's my list. Frozen, I'm gonna go A. Obviously, in a lot of people's heads, Frozen is an S tier film. It's Let It Go, and all that. But I was made to watch it so many times that the song Let It Go, like, it could honestly have just made me had a brain aneurysm. It was just so infuriating. I had no idea times I heard it on Alexa, I heard it on the TV, heard it on like a tablet. I was sick of it, and everyone loved it, and I hated every second of it. But the first time I watched it, I'm trying to be as fair as possible, it is a brilliant film. The humour in it is fantastic. Sven and Christoph, absolutely brilliant together. The voice cast, obviously Idina Menzel, Kirsten Bell, Jonathan Grove, I want to say. Sorry if I butchered your name, you'll never see this anyway. Josh Gad obviously is Olaf. How could I forget about Olaf? Olaf's like the guy. Like Olaf's the best thing in the film. So A's fair. It was a very, very good film the first time I seen it. I just grew to hate it eventually. Big Hero 6. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not the worst film they've done. I just don't like it. It's just my opinion on it. Baymax as a character, I just don't connect with him at all. The human characters are all just born awful human beings. Not for any particular reason, I just don't like them. Simple as that. Zootopia, easy, probably the easiest S we're going to get. Zootopia, my daughter loves Zootopia. Like, Judy Hopps is her favourite character in Disney. Overall, including Pixar, it's Judy Hopps. And so it should be. The writing in this film, the settings, like how beautifully animated it was, the different sections of Zootopia itself. I know in some places in the world it's called Zootropolis, so we're talking about that film. Nick Wilde obviously starts off as a bit of a sleazeball, but Jason Bateman and I don't actually know who does the voice of Judy Hopps. Their chemistry is just unreal, and every character in it. Chief Bogo as well, obviously, Idris Elba, the Shakira obviously as a gazelle. Try Everything as the soundtrack. Everything is perfect with this film. And see, when they announced that they were doing Zootopia 2, Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3, Zootopia 2 is the only one that needs a sequel. I'm check, and I see that they've just brought Zootopia Land to Disneyland in Tokyo, or I could be wrong, could be Japan. Disney World and Disneyland Paris both need it. Both need a Zootopia Land. It looks amazing and we want to be part of it. Moana is also an S tier film. Pretty much the opposite effect of Frozen. I've also seen Moana hundreds of times. I've heard the songs hundreds of times and I've never gotten bored of it. I love Moana. I am very worried about the sequel that's been announced. It seems very thrown together. It seems to be that they're stressing so much about how much money they lost last year in the films, and they just thought we need a sequel to a guaranteed money maker. The fact they announced it for 2024, the year we're in, and they haven't even got The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, or Artie Carvalho nailed down to do the voices. It's like, how are you going to turn that around? These films take like years to put together, but if they do it and it's a good film, good. If they don't, they deserve to be taken out the back and old Gellert, for anyone who understands that reference. I can't say exactly what it is. But how far I'll go, you're welcome. It's just iconic songs all over the place. And I just love it. The humour as well. Even Hey the chicken, he's brilliant. Frozen 2 wasn't as good as Frozen 1, even on the first watch. We've seen this one in the cinema because my daughter wasn't born during the first one, but she went to see the second one, and it was like a big event. There was like people there dressed as Elsa and Anna, there was popcorn buckets galore. It was crazy. And while obviously it has iconic songs too, all these films do, it just wasn't as good. Olaf's song where he's just singing Confused is probably the best part of the whole film. The whole stuff with Kristoff, I know obviously they wanted to add more layers to Kristoff's character and personality by making him feel like he's being abandoned by Anna, that he's lonely, but it was just seemed like out of the blue. Like in the first film he was like this independent man, and in the second film it does establish he will literally do anything for Anna even if he doesn't agree with what she's doing. But I wanted to see more. I think it's because it took him out of the story too much. Like Anna and Elsa and Olaf were going off and doing their own thing too much, and they were just throwing Kristoff a few musical numbers to appease it. But we wanted to see him on screen, that's probably why. Raya and the Last Dragon, honestly, I think it's so underrated. It's not an S tier film. I love it. I don't know. I know the actress that does the voice of the dragon. She's in Shang-Chi. She's in Renfield. But I forgot her name. But she's so funny. Like, she's honestly like one of the new top stars, I think, in the industry. Anything she's in is funny. She can. She's in Jumanji, The Next Level as well. So like, she is hilarious, and I don't even think much of Raya. It's just how funny the lady who voiced the dragon was. Encanto, S tier film. I could listen to the songs from Encanto on repeat all day. I think every single one of them. We don't talk about Bruno and all. Like, the soundtrack for Encanto is probably the most like filled with absolute hits, in my opinion. Like, there's a reason it won so many awards. There's a reason why like there's so many live shows. There's a reason why they're trying to rush making an attraction for it at Disney World right now. It's just an unbelievable film. The story as well about Mirabelle not feeling like part of the family and all. Like, it's films I think that have real life subject matter and subjects that hit home are the best films, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I think a film does need a bit of actual real life substance to it. This should be easy to end. Bambi. Bambi's a B. As a youngster, didn't like seeing Bambi's mother be killed. Spoiler alert if you did not know that. All the rest of the characters are cute, funny, it's a nice story. But yeah, seeing Bambi's mother being shot, I think lives with every child that's seen it for the first time. So I can't go above B. I've never seen that. Don't know how I missed it. Free Calabros. Funnily enough, I have seen this, and it's they based an attraction in Disney World off this, the Mexican ride in the Mexican Pavilion, and it's a B. The ride's better than the film, put it this way. It's okay in small doses is what I'm trying to say. And lastly, it's a Mickey Mouse Beanstalk story. I haven't seen it, so that's my list. That is my list. As I said, there's no specific order up the top here. If I had to pick an absolute undisputed number one, it would be Hercules. I said it before, it would be Hercules. I'm not going to get into twos and threes. Hercules is my favourite film on this list, hands down. I do think Disney don't make films like they used to anymore. I think the quality, the writing, the acting, it's all just lackadaisical. They rush films out because, number one, they're trying to pump out too much new content in Disney Plus, which muddies the waters of films they're trying to do for cinema. And just, they're all of equal quality, and none of it is good enough. That's why they're going back to Frozen. That's why they're going back to Zootopia again, because they know that that's guaranteed money. But they need to get back to the roots of what they're good at first. I see the writers they have now, like, they're probably the same writers they've had before, but I don't know if they're too scared, if you know what I mean, to go for the proper subject matter. But I don't want the writers that are releasing films now to go anywhere near the Frozen franchise. I don't want them near the Toy Story or Zootopia franchise. I want the people who did the original films to come back and be told, you've got a clean slate, you do whatever you want to do. There's no limitations, because there's too many limitations on films now. There really is. Films is somewhere you're meant to go to escape the craziness of the real world. We don't want it interjected into our movies. Like, I won't say the word of the day, let's just say, for what I'm talking about, but that is my list, guys. If you want, you can comment down below what your own list would be. This was a long video, it was exhausting to record here. But if there's any you just flat out disagree with, just let me know. We can have a constructive discussion. But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, please, if you're still here, and I shall see you on the next one.